But Sturgis is interesting, and everybody, this is a huge rally. About 250,000 people go, and I'm just going to say that my guess is 95% of them are fakers, meaning they're attorneys and business owners and
Yeah.
doctors who put on the costume and roll out there. They don't shave for a few days, and then the other 5% are, I might describe as dangerous.
You're
Uh,
hardcore bikers. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
I did a service, a funeral service once for a guy who had a leather jacket on, and he had that diamond that said 1% on it.
Okay.
And the on the back of his motorcycle jacket had the trailer. So you cannot have the big decal on the back of your jacket and then what's called that rocker, I think, underneath. If they're
Yeah.
separated, you're now part of a gang and you have to pay dues. You have to pay dues to whoever is running the gang in that
Hmm.
state. And the people who are running the gang in that state, they're into all kinds of tricky, illegal things. And I always thought to myself, boy, there's a lot of hobbies to have. If I have to pay dues to a criminal syndicate just so I could do my hobby, maybe it's time to find something different. Did you like the experience in Sturgis or was it troubling to you?
It was honestly some of the best summers of my life. I don't know that my body could hold up and do that again because it was 2 weeks of 14, 15-hour days every day.
What did
Um,
you do?
I was a food server.
Okay.
Food server, and then my first 2 years and my last 2 years, I was food server, and then I would go out early and help train some of the staff and help with scheduling and things like that. So it was a One-Eyed Jack's Saloon, and it took up
Oh,
almost
yeah.
an entire block. And our restaurant was actually right next door to the Hells Angels. And honestly, for the most part, I only had good interactions. Um, but you're right. When you have the rockers, they would either have to turn their leather inside out, and most of them won't do that. And I don't think it's because they're all bad people. I think it just comes down to the safety and territory, and there's a lot of things happening at the rally.
What made you decide what kind of was your cuisine at the restaurant you opened up?
So we took over an existing facility. It was more upscale fine dining. And we definitely wanted it to feel like a space that you could go out for a nice dinner or corporate or a date night. But we also have 4 young children. So we also wanted the community to feel like they could bring their family or just getting off the boat. We're a big outdoor water community here in Yankton. So you could still feel like you could come from everything from burgers to sandwiches, salads, steaks, pastas, a little bit of everything.
This feels like it's the goes back to our first question, stupid and ridiculous, that maybe somebody said we need more restaurants in this town and maybe you even thought that and thought, well, we could do this. So you sort
Sure.
of did this as a community service and maybe as a challenge. How did you answer the call? Did you feel you did a good job with that?
We had it for about 4 years, and there constantly was things that we needed to improve on. There's no doubt. But I think we had a successful 4 years. We had bookings that we needed to cancel because our lease expired and we weren't able to renegotiate with the landlords. Um, so,
Oh,
yeah. And we opened about 7 months before COVID hit. And COVID was not good to anybody. I don't mean that, but we had a large outdoor patio space, and COVID, I mean, people felt safe eating outside, and we couldn't keep up. We were rocking. We never had to lay off any staff. Sometimes we had to turn the phone off because we couldn't keep up with to-go orders. So
wow.
yeah, it was fun. But we did events and holiday parties and
And then
patio parties.
your landlord said, wait a minute, I need more money.
Business is business,
Sure.
and they still
Well
run several
said.
businesses in town. And honestly, it maybe was a blessing in disguise because we had 2 kiddos when we opened the restaurant, and then welcomed 2 more during the restaurant. And I mean, people aren't wrong when they say if you want to run a successful business, that you're going to be there nights and weekends and holidays. And it was a blessing. There's no doubt, but I'm grateful for a little bit more flexibility now.